96 Rock, Cincinnati's pure rock, and it's going to be a great day for a little action sports. And I think that the Action Sports World Tour deserves our welcome. Yes, hello! In studio with us, Danny Mayer, Simon Tabron from the Action Sports World Tour.
Two of the biggest pros anywhere in the world.
That's right. I think they look at us. We're not really action-packed, but that's why it's at Kings Island. Now, action sports, tough guys, right?
Right.
But I do understand this. I understand that they might be afraid of something. Is that really, you got afraid of? What are you afraid of, man?
What?
Are you afraid of anything, Danny?
I'm not afraid of anything.
Me, maybe roller coasters and snakes.
Yeah, that could be a problem, Simon. We're not going to lie. All right, because multi-million-dollar brand new attraction at Kings Island, little roller coaster we like to call Diamondback. So I'm not going to see you on there, smarty pants?
I'm guessing no.
All right, it's no secret, Danny, that you love Cincinnati and Cincinnati loves you. Do me a favor, okay? What I want you to do when you get to the peak of one of the top moves off the vert ramp, I want you to wave to me, all right?
You got it. At the top of the air, I'll try and give you a yes, hello.
Maybe you should try and do it in a more manly way than they do it, though.
You're killing me, man. Let me tell you something, pal. If it wasn't for your accent, we'd already be rumbling right now.
Oh, I know.
I think we need to transfer this energy maybe out to Kings Island.
The Action Sports World Tour.
Yes, hello.
We're here just outside Cincinnati, Ohio at the famed Kings Island Amusement Park. Now this is home of the tallest, fastest, meanest roller coaster in the business. I'm Brad J, joined by Jimmy Coleman. Jimmy, break it down for us. What are we going to see?
Well, you can see the motocross guys are warming up behind us. They're providing demos out here for this three-ring circus of action sports. But over on the vert ramp, we're going to start it off with BMX Vert. Yesterday in qualifying, Jimmy Walker, he was in the lead throughout most of the prelims, ended up qualifying second, even after taking a nasty slam in his second run. He's okay. He's feeling good for the finals. However, he's going up against Simon Tabron, Chad Kagi, Stephen McCann, Koji Kraft. It's anybody's game over there. Skateboard Vert, however, Pierre-Luc Gagnon, been the most dominant competition skater from 2008 up till now. The last stop of the ASA Action Sports World Tour, Danny Mayer gave him a run for the money. Those two were trading the lead back and forth. Danny's got a taste of victory. He knows what it takes to take the lead away from Pierre. It's going to be an epic battle between those two guys.
Well, it's all going on right here. This is your ASA Action Sports World Tour.
Well, before we get to the action, we're going to send it down to the ramp with the third member of our reporting team, Mark Shays.
BMX is all about going big. Big airs, big tricks, and big ramps. This is one of the biggest ramps in the whole competition circuit on the world, and I'm with one of the most dominant riders in the world, Simon Tabron. Simon, almost not knowing your own strength, you qualified in first by accident. Tell me about that.
Yeah, whoops. I was hoping to qualify a little bit lower because then like the main guys go after you and you get to do your first run with no pressure, with no expectations. But then when you qualify first, everyone else can kind of one-up you before you even drop into the ramp, so whoops, backfired.
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what he wanted to do, but being the #1 qualifier is probably the best part of that. Here's a format for you, 2 runs, best run counts, 45 seconds per run.
Yeah, it's actually a change-up from the way it used to be last year. The runs used to be 60 seconds. They've shortened it a little bit, kind of cuts out some of the setup errors, some of the fillers, so these guys really have to get out there and throw some of their biggest tricks, and that's what the skateboarders typically used to do in the past, 45-second runs, so it gets rid of a lot of the setup errors. First up, we're going to see Francisco Zarita. Now, this guy was the first rider ever to do the triple tail whip on vert. What does that mean? He's up in the air, 3 revolutions of the frame of the bike. It's quite possible we could see this here in the finals, Brad.
Well, we're looking for it. Coco up and riding right now. This is the finals, and it is on right here at Kings Island.
Now, the judges are going to be looking for a wide variety of things. They're going to be looking for overall use of the ramp. They're going to be looking for difficulty level of the tricks. They're also going to be looking for style. How easy, how smooth and effortless do you make those tricks look? And right there, a combo move. 2 tricks in one. That was the tail whip to X up, and Coco getting upside down there with the flare.
Well, Coco starting things out right, and he is spinning to win right here. Coco laid it down down for everybody out here at Kings Island.
Now, that was the double tail whip. That was 2 revolutions of the frame of the bike. The body and the handlebars stay stationary on that one. We haven't seen the triple, and he goes for a variation at the end, the turn down flare. The flare is the back flip with the 180, and then the turn down part of that, you crank the handlebars, give him an extra 180-degree crank towards the flat bottom. Take a look at the replay here. Look at that, just kind of tweak the bars a little bit right at the end. He squeaks that one in at the end of the run. That one should count. And look at this, 1, 2 revolutions of the frame of the bike, gets the feet clean back on the pedals.
Well, he is happy about that score coming in 88.75 for Coco, and he's got to feel good coming out of the gates hot.
You can see the fans definitely appreciative of the backflip variations there. So Francisco coming out and setting the bar. That could all change right now with Koji Kraft. Why do I say that? This is the new and improved Koji Kraft. In the past, time management has been an issue with his runs. He kind of rolls in and explodes on impact. He's gotten a lot better about that. He's been placing a lot better lately.
Well, Koji Kraft, a high-flying kid. I've known this guy for many years, and boy, when he is on his game, he can be on his game. But whether he shows up to blow up or actually gets it done, that's up to Koji.
Well, his new mantra now, Brad, is kind of first or last, and there you go, the double tail whip. We saw that out of Coco. However, Koji has a slightly different spin to that, and that's a brand new one. The bar spin to late tail whip, and wow.
Wow, he went down hard.
The judge is getting up. That was a nasty knock.
You can see the fans here very concerned.
That was an opposite air. Koji was going his opposite direction there, and he just hung back wheel. And that's something I've seen Koji do a million times. I think he was just a little overamped coming out of that bar spin to tail whip. And just takes the crossbar right in the guts.
Well, that's a tough break for Koji, but look at him, he's tough. Koji Kraft getting on up, 86 even, not bad for a fall. Still a strong score for Koji Kraft.
Yeah, I was gonna say, despite the fall, 86 flat, not a bad place to be right now. Up next, we've got Chad Kagi. Simon Tabron's been spending a lot of time riding with him lately, so we're gonna let Simon call Chad's run here.
Okay, up now it's gonna be Chad Kagi. I'm expecting a big banger run right here. Okay, Chad Kagi, and he's in the ramp. Let's see what he's got. Okay, bar spin to X up first wall. Oh, flare whip, second wall, and he's down. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Okay, he's back on, he's pedaling, but I don't know, that run's gone now. That's really not like Chad to blow it, second wall. I mean, I guess it's so crazy hot out here. All right, he's back up, he's going again, he did a flare, no-hander. Tail whip. He should probably save his energy here for his next run, but I guess he's just trying to get some points in. Okay, there you go, it's a clean flare whip. Oh, and another clean flare whip. And a flare. I guess he rescued this run pretty good. Turn down. X up, and he's done, he's out.
Well, it looks to me that Simon Tabron has a future in the booth with those calls like that, right?
Yeah, if we're not careful, he's gonna end up putting one of us on the unemployment list. This was second wall in, goes down on the flare whip, the backflip 180 with the tail whip, and then he gets back up and makes it not once, but twice.
Okay, so it didn't go quite the way you wanted, but you got up pretty damn quick. So what do you do now?
You know, you salvage what you can so you don't get last place. Got another run. Next run is just, now the pressure's on. It's all or nothing.
Well, the pressure is on. More of the BMX Vert Finals continue with round one when we come back.
The ASA Action Sports World Tour at Kings Island in Cincinnati is brought to you by Maxell, official sponsor of the ASA Action Sports World Tour. By ASA Entertainment, the leader in action sports event and television production since 1994. Visit asaentertainment.com. By Diamondback, Kings Island's tallest, fastest, and meanest coaster ever. And by BFD.com. The biggest names in action sports are on BFD.com. Welcome back to the ASA Action Sports World Tour at Kings Island. It's not every day that you get to have a contest at a place like an amusement park.
We definitely end up in some strange situations around the world on our travels, and here we are in Cincinnati in an amusement park.
For a kid to come here the first time to Kings Island and be super psyched on it, and then to have us part of it, I think he gets a well-rounded kind of day of entertainment.
I'm seeing guys out there that are riders that came specifically to see us and they got in, and then they get to go play in the park. And then people came for the park and go, well, we didn't know this was here. This is awesome. And then they stick around and we got a whole new base of fans.
Yeah, definitely want to take advantage of the rides here. I already went in the water park yesterday, try and get some laughs out of this weekend, have some fun with my friends.
Go down roller coaster!
You know, I've been to a lot of these events, and I know you have, Brad, and it's just insane. Normally, it's contest is over, you just go back to the hotel and do your thing. But like these guys said, you get to go out and ride rides, there's water slides. You get to make a whole weekend out of it.
Well, we got Jay Eggleston. He's ready to make a good weekend out of it. Dropping in right now, Jay Eggleston in your BMX Vert Finals.
Coming out of the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, and watch for the big airs out of him. Jay's got lots of tricks, but watch for the impressive height at which he will do them right there over the railings. A good 9 feet, and look at the size of that 540, Brad.
Well, Jay Eggleston is really getting some high-flying miles right here, and he's put it together here at Kings Island.
Now, Jay, you'll never see a blank wall out of him. What does that mean? You won't see any setup airs. Every single wall of the ramp in this run will be a different trick, and you will never see Jay repeat a trick. There's the tail whip right there as the run's winding down here. And again, he maintains the height throughout most of his run, and that's key here.
Well, not bad for a 37-year-old. He's looking like having a lot of fun out there on his bike.
Yeah, Jay's riding seems to improve year in and year out. That was a 540 combo move at the end of the run and working the lip of the ramp, getting some grinds in there at the buzzer.
I think he's getting stronger with age.
Take a look at this. No-hander, 1-footer, and again, look at the height factor right there. Those railings are at 8 feet. He's a good 1.5 feet over those things and blasting. Both tires are over the railings on that 540. You should not be able to do that trick that high. And look at the score.
Wow. A 90.25. That's going to put Jay Eggleston in the lead right there, and he looks winded but happy.
Here we go with Steve McCann all the way from Australia. Steve's been spending a lot of time at Camp Woodward. A lot of people compare his style to Jamie Bestwick, and this guy gets better and better every single year. So I'm excited to see what we get out of Steve in this run.
Well, I tell you, an all-terrain rider, whether it's dirt, vert, or park, this guy can ride all-terrain on his BMX bike.
Going for that. Is that the triple? That was the triple tail whip. We talked about that earlier with Francisco Zarita. That was after the triple tail whip, you're going to be kidding me. He goes down on the flare. He just didn't have enough rotation, and he washed out on that.
Well, it looks like he was nodding his head. He definitely wasn't happy that Steve McCann would get back up on top.
Yeah, I don't know if he was thrown off by how smooth he landed that or what, but this is such an insanely hard trick. Take a look.
On a triple whip, the back of your frame is going to spin around 3 times, and that's like a groundbreaking trip. I mean, a few years ago, doubles were like the most amazing thing. It's hard to believe that anybody is doing a triple. I mean, you're off your bike for probably a good second, and that's a long time in the air to be off your bike. You got to wait for that back end to come around. You don't get those feet back on, you're going to eat it. So it's just, when your frame's spinning that fast, that's an amazing, amazing trick.
I'll tell you, I think someone needs to get Eggleston some oxygen, man. He looks winded up there, just talking about the triple.
I think this lower elevation, he's a little winded there. The triple tail whip, Steve McCann rolling the dice, but it does not pay off in round number 1. And here we go, Jimmy Walker, our second place qualifier. Jimmy was on fire in the prelims yesterday, and even after taking a nasty slam on an opposite flare, still able to get right back up and keep riding.
Well, another member of the 37-year-old club, as Jimmy Walker shows what he can do on the vert.
Yeah, Jimmy's another one of those guys that just keeps getting better and better each and every year. The age factor not slowing him down at all. Watch for opposite variations out of him. What does that mean? These guys favor one direction that they're turned when they're in the air. With Jimmy, he'll go both directions and make it look smooth and effortless.
And he's doing it right there as he lays that flare down.
Got a lot of flare variations, some 540 combinations. There's an invert 540 there. You throw a little bit of a tweak, get the bike leveled off in the middle of 1.5 rotations, and there's the no-handed 540.
And he's looking to wrap it up. Look at this, trying to end it with an exclamation point.
And the tail whip, that trick. Now, we've seen those in this comp. However, that trick has given Jimmy problems over the last 5 years or so. That trick has sort of, by trying that a long time ago, sort of opened Pandora's box for him. There's a combo move right there. There's the invert flare, just throwing a little tweak into that one as he barrel rolls out of that backflip 180.
And score coming in. What do we got? 90.50. Well, that's going to jump Jimmy Walker into the first spot with that 90.50.
So Jimmy picking up where he left off yesterday in the preliminary round. Up next, we've got a guy who's been extremely dominant on the Action Sports World Tour, Simon Tabron. Before we see his run, we're going to take a look inside his life as he is the feature of this week's BFD.com profile.
Hey, I'm Simon Tabron. This is my girlfriend Shanna. Welcome to my place in Manhattan Beach. I've been here about 6 months, just moved over here from England. So let me show you around. This is a picture that was taken by my girlfriend's brother, Beau Bridges, who's a really good, talented action sports photographer. And I'm gonna take you to his gallery a little bit later on today. My purple teddy bear. You'll definitely notice there's a purple theme throughout. Purple curtains here, covering the closet. A purple feather boa, obviously. And then, oh look, more purple. Imagine that. I told you I like purple. I have a little play date with my girlfriend's nephews. We're gonna go ride BMX bikes. Hey Chad, how's it going?
Hi, Si.
Chad lost a bet a little while ago, so he works for me now.
I probably have 5 more minutes of polishing the helmet.
All right, I will see you over there. To the beach, my good lady. Hey, so I'm here in Hermosa Beach at Beau Bridges' gallery. But whilst I'm here, I have to do a really quick photo shoot with Beau. So we're gonna go in and do that. Hey, Beau.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, man?
It's coming over.
You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Gonna go and ride bikes now, down at the dirt track. On your marks, get set, go! Go! Yes, go really fast, go really fast. So that was a day of my life. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you again next time.
Well, the purple boas, the purple drapes, the purple gloves. It's good to see that he has a girlfriend for sure. Well, turnabout is fair play. We let Simon Tabron call Chad Kagi's run. Now it's Chad Kagi's turn to call Simon's run.
When he gets started, he drops in hot. There's no stopping him. I've got no brakes. Simon Tabron. His alter ego is Steve. No, it's not. What is it? It was Vance. Yes, Vance has just dropped in with a tire grab and an invert. And he's going really high. You know for a fact that there's a smooth 540 coming soon. Oh. I know he missed a trick there. See, look at this 5. Look at that 5. Bang! Ah. He's got amazing 5s. That's like my favorite trick he does. It's a 540, X up, can. He can click it. Nobody else can even do that trick. Flare, and I thought he slid out. You're faking me out, punk. Woo! I think there's a 9 coming, usually. You ready? Nope, he hung up. He's smiling, but he's upset with himself for not doing a 9. That hang up was just a dumb mistake.
I definitely thought the 900 was coming as well, but the hang-up did kill all of his speed. This was the X-Up can 540, 3 tricks in 1. Look at this. You're crossing the forearms up, giving the handlebars a tweak, 1 leg over the crossbar of the bike, while the body does 1.5 rotation.
Well, that puts him in a 4th place tie right there, 87.75 for Simon Tabron.
And taking a look at the Paul Mitchell leaderboard after round 1, check it out. Simon and Steve McCann and Chad Kagi, 3 of the heavy favorites, down in 4th and 6th. Jimmy Walker still holding on to that lead with a 90.50. Keep in mind, round 2 still to come, and its best run counts. More BMX Vert when we come back.
And we are back, Kings Island, ASA Action Sports World Tour. Funnel cakes, cotton candy, roller coasters, and a whole lot of moto going down.
Now the fans at Kings Island definitely appreciative of the vert competitions, but you can't go wrong with guys jumping motorcycles 35 feet up in the air. Back to the vert ramp, however, round 2, taking a look at some of the highlights right now, some of the action. Jimmy Walker, he was our current leader at the end of round number 1, was able to put a fairly smooth run together for round 2. However, it wasn't enough to up the ante, would have to stick with his first run score. Francisco Zurita, we did not see the triple tail whip out of him in run number 1. He did a couple of smooth flares, went for the double. We did not see the triple tail whip, so he too would go with that first run score. Steve McCann, we saw the triple tail whip out of him in his first run, but he washed out on a flare. Here in round number 2, gets a weird landing on the flare, and then the setup air out of it, hangs up back wheel, goes over the bars, and goes down hard. Fortunately, he was able to get up and walk away under his own power. Koji Kraft had a solid first run that included unleashing a new trick on us. It was the setup air out of it, however, that took him down. Koji was able to continue, however, his bike was not, and before his run started, he was actually up on the deck of the ramp shopping around for a new bike to ride.
How difficult is it to just pick up somebody else's bike and ride it in a run?
It's super difficult. It's pretty much like wearing somebody else's shoes if they're a different size. The bars could be too forward or too back. You might loop out, you might go over the bars just because of that one thing. Everybody, like, we work hard on keeping our bikes set up exactly how we like them. So when you have to go use somebody else's bike, it's super difficult. It's like close to impossible.
He ended up taking the run on Jimmy Walker's bike, which is really impressive because Jimmy's a lot taller than Koji and his bike set up a lot bigger. Koji not only finished the run, he posted up a better score, much to the appreciation and respect of the judges.
Well, somebody should have told Koji that that bike was a different setup than his.
He rode that thing like a champ. Jimmy Walker was telling him, hey, take it easy, take it easy on my bike. But he rose to the occasion. Chad Kagi rolling it in for run number 2. We saw Chad go down on the flare whip, second wall in of his first run. You won't see that happen again twice.
Well, Chad Kagi, one of the most dominant BMX riders out there, can end up on the top of the podium at any point.
Well, the crazy thing was is after the fall, a lot of guys would have just blown that run off or got up and taken it easy. Chad got back up and did back-to-back flare-ups, and there it is. And he gets a flare out of that. That is a backflip 180 while the frame of the bike is rotating, a complete rotation around you, and a one-handed X-up flare.
Chad really putting it together right here. This is the time he needs to do it right here if he wants to end up in first.
Wow, the high mark to beat's a 90.50 that was set by Jimmy Walker at the end of round 1, and I'm going to say that that might have done it right there.
Well, I'm not a betting man, but I'd have to agree with you on that. I'm pretty sure he's going to be on top of the heap as we look at his replays.
This was the last trick of the run, one-handed X-up flare. Take a look at this. One hand off the handlebars, you twist the other hand around while you're doing a backflip 180.
One-handed X-up flare, is that new?
Yep. I'm a man of a lot of words, can you tell? Yeah, I actually have been working on that over the winter, and I pulled my first one like 3 weeks ago in China, and I left it with room for improvement. Okay. And I landed smooth enough to keep on going, so I'm pretty happy with that one.
I should say so. 90.75, enough to grab first place. What's next, Jay Eggleston?
All right, we're about to drop in Simon Tabron, one of the smoothest guys on the ramp. He's gonna do some big fives, I'm sure. You might see a 900, but I'm not calling it out.
Jay's not calling it out, but I am. I know it's coming to this run right now. Simon doesn't like to be down there in the middle of the pack. He was tied for 4th earlier. Now he's tied for 6th. I'm laying it out there. This 900's happening.
Well, he's the final rider to go. This is when it counts right here. He needs to try and put it all down together to try and grab that top spot.
And he's looking solid here. Jay called out 540 variations. There you go, a no-handed 540. And as we mentioned earlier in round 1, he's doing this brakeless. He's got no way of stopping.
And he's just putting it together. This is his run.
And there it comes, the 900. Did you see where his tires landed on that? He was on the sticker tape on the Vert, and he just did a flare.
He's putting it down right now. This is a solid run for Simon Tabron.
I told you, I was calling the 900, and there it was. I am completely blown away by how high he landed that. He got speed out of that.
And he is not done. Look at the fans. The fans are going crazy for Simon, and Simon is gassed.
I predict he's in first place.
I would have to predict you're right, Jay. 2.5 rotations. The 900 and that back tire landed pretty high up the ramp, which is what you want. You want to get the max amount of speed out of this. Generally, guys do this trick. They land at the bottom, and it pretty much kills the run at that point.
Well, you can see Chad Kagi out there helping him, giving him some applause, too. Good friends, both these guys.
He gets a 92.25 for the win. Taking a look at the Paul Mitchell final result board. He was tied for 6th place, and on the last run of the comp, he moves all the way up to first. Congratulations, Simon Tabron.
So you started today steaming on top of the ramp.
Right.
And talking about how you didn't want to be the last guy to go.
Okay.
It paid off for you.
I mean, it paid off. Like, I blew my first run, so I thought, save your energy for run 2. Get to run 2, and everyone else has put a good run in pretty much. Pressure's like doubly on this time. I was sat there, I was like, you know what, Simon, just take your time. You can do this. Just stay smooth, keep your speed, relax. This is like a demo. Just drop in, do it, and before I knew it, I'd done it.
A demo with a 900 in it is probably gonna take it. No brakes. Another champion, another day. Way to go, man.
Thank you, Mark. I'm really grateful. I appreciate it. Now let's hit the water slides and the roller coasters.
Oh yeah, baby.
Simon may have had the 900, but it was Stevie McCann and the triple tail whip that earned BFD.com's trick of the day. 3 revolutions of the frame of the bike, lands it clean. When we come back, we switch from 2 wheels to 4 at Skate Vert. But first, we check in with another part of our tour. The Maxell Music Stage is always rocking at the ASA Action Sports World Tour events. This stop was no different, as legacy artist Collective Soul hit the stage for thousands of head-banging Kings Island's fans and guests.
We'll do it cold, we'll do it scream. We're uncontagious by these breaths that we breathe. Where do we steal? When do we pay? The winds of truth, they ain't below our weight. What the more we want to change, leads us more to miss up. Hey, hey, baby, do we take on this up? Hey, hey, baby, do we take on mine? What the more we want to play, leaves us more to fix up. Hey, hey, baby, do we take on mine? Hey, hey, baby, do we take on this? What more we want to play, leaves us more to fix up. Hey, hey, baby, do we take on that? Hey, hey, baby, do we take on this? What the more we want to change, leaves us more to mess up. Hey, hey, baby, do we take on that? Hey, hey, baby, do we take on this? Oh.
Thank you. And we are back at the famed Kings Island here for your ASA Action Sports World Tour. You see the roller coasters, you see all the fun having, and of course, you see Dora. A lot's going on. The prelims took place with the skateboarders, and check out what was going on.
Yeah, a lot of great action going on in the preliminary round we had yesterday, and the story remains the same here. Pierre-Luc Gagnon, the #1 qualifier yet again. Take a look at the rules here. 4 runs, best run counts. Instead of the traditional 45-second timed run, it's a wall count now. You get 10 walls. You complete 10 walls, you're done. If you fall before 10 walls, you're done as well. We've got 4 judges overseeing the action here, and they're judging things on a 100-point scale.
Well, given that 4 runs and the 10 walls gives the opportunity for the guys to do what they can do. But let's send it up top to Mark Shays with the boys.
Thanks, guys. Really, you might argue that there's no rivalries in skateboarding because all the guys are such good friends, but if there was one on the vert ramp, it would be right now between these 2 guys, PLG and Danny Mayer. PLG, you've been undefeated now for almost 14 months on the vert ramp, but this guy's coming on pretty strong. What's the story with Danny?
I mean, Danny's got big tricks. You know, he's got a kickflip McTwist, he's got a kickflip Mountain 3. He's been skating every day, just killing it. So, yeah, I mean, it's been hard for me to, you know, keep winning.
He got very, very close last week, but again, BLG coming out on top. You guys are also roommates here. Do you ever talk about skateboarding when you're back in the room, or do you just get ready to go on all the rides here?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally we talk about skating, you know, usually about other people. But no, like usually, you know, every once in a while I'll ask him, what do you think I should do? You know, should I do this in the line or not, or should I take it out early? You know, he'll give me like strategy help and stuff. And besides that, yeah, we've been riding a lot of rides. Last night we rode for a couple hours. So.
Well, enough fun, enough rides. Let's get right to the contest and see who's going to take this one down.
Taking a look at some highlights here from round #1. It was rookie pro Zach Miller. This was only his 3rd pro competition. This one starting off a little bit better than his last 2 attempts, 69.50 for his first run score. Josh Stafford coming back fresh from a broken ankle at the end of last season. He got out there in round number 1, threw down a McTwist and a frontside heel flip and netted him a 76.25. 20-year-old Vert sensation Rob Lorifus was throwing down big rodeo 5s and an even bigger backside melon 5 for a 74.25, and that would bring up Danny Mayer, who's basically been nipping at PLG's heels for the last 3 contests we've had.
Well, for sure, he's got the kickflip McTwist down in his bag of tricks. We know we're gonna see it. It's a matter of when are we gonna see it out of Danny Mayer.
Now, what is so difficult about that trick? A 540, you're basically rotating 1.5 times around, but you're flipping the board around on your feet while you're doing that. It's one of the hardest tricks out there, and Danny's one of the only guys in the world doing that run. And at this point in time, I don't think we're gonna see it here in this first run. I think this is gonna be a safety run.
Well, Danny Mayer just trying to post up a good solid score to be up in the mix.
Yeah, when I say safety run, that's what I'm talking about. You get out there, you kind of settle the nerves, you get 10 walls down. That way you've got room to improve for your next 3 rounds, and he wraps it up there. The backside lip slide revert. So Danny electing to put down the safety run. Now that's the 540, the McTwist. Imagine that with the board flipping. We'll see that a little bit later on in this contest, guaranteed. And there's a different grab at it, the backside or the melon grab 5.
Well, what are the judges gonna think? They're thinking an 83.75. That's gonna be the first score in for Danny Mayer as PLG gets ready to go.
See our 4 judges talking things over there. They have a very, very tough job. And like I said, Danny Mayer putting down a safety run, just getting the jitters out of the way. Speaking of Danny Mayer, he's actually gonna call our next run here for PLG.
PLG, about to drop in, the world famous Indy Fakie into the melon 7, and it looks good, and he's got it. Kickflip mute to Fakie. Switch heel flip 3, it's looking solid. Kickflip mute, 540. Indy 5. Yeah. Rodeo. Indy air. And the nollie heel 3. And he's got it. Looks like a flawless run by PLG. Wouldn't expect anything different.
Is that a flawless B+ run, A- run, or A plus for PLG?
Well, both those for us are like our just, you know, safety, I'd say. But that's definitely going to take me out.
Like you were trying to pull me yesterday.
What's that? The nollie with the nollie heel 3, that's what I seen. But I mean, that's a good run. It's definitely in first right now.
Well, I'll tell you, he must have ESP because yes, indeed, that is a first place run as it stands right now. PLG, your new leader.
If he's calling that a safety run, that is one heck of a safety run. We've got more Skateboard Vert when we come back. Where can you catch all the biggest tricks, exclusive clips, and behind-the-scenes tomfoolery and shenanigans, plus athlete profiles in the online community for action sports? It is BFD.com.
Well, BFD.com online, but not only online, right here live at Kings Island. And the athletes out there signing autographs. Got to be pretty good, right, Jimmy?
Well, we talked earlier in the show about how it's not every day you get to do a contest at an amusement park. Athletes doing a little meet and greet autograph signing here, but you got water slides, you got roller coasters, and of course we got some of the best vert athletes in the world, and it's all part of the ASA Action Sports World Tour right here in Kings Island. Despite the roller coasters, however, we're in the middle of the Skateboard Vert contest. Taking a look at the Paul Mitchell leaderboard after round 1, PLG again sitting atop things with an 87.25, and both him and Danny Mayer doing what they called safety runs.
Yeah, safety runs with 720s. That was unheard of 4 or 5 years ago, but now it's commonplace in skateboarding vert.
Before we get back to the action, we're going to hear from a group of guys who have a very tough job, the judges.
My name is Owen Nieder, and I'm head judge for ASA. The hardest part for me is comparing apples and oranges. How do you take Pierre's run versus Danny's run?
You'll say, you know, this guy did harder tricks, but this guy made them look better. And
did they use the entire ramp? Did they use the obstacles on the ramp? How high did they go? How good did it look? That's where subjectivity comes in.
Skateboarding's an art form. It's about being original, unique, coming out with your own style.
Judge is just giving his opinion on it, so, you know, he may not agree with you, and that's just how it goes. You gotta kind of live with it.
You know, we get pissed off at the judges because it's like, hey, I did this and that trick, and they never want to argue too much because we're out there skating and they're not.
It's like they are skateboarders and have been around the skateboard world, so you do respect them, but like seriously, I would never, I've told a million people, I would never want to judge.
After doing this for a really long time, I look at it this way. somebody's always going to be mad.
Owen just summed it all up. You can't make everybody happy.
Well, at least he can live with himself.
He certainly can. Round one, Anthony Furlong had a rough go, scoring down in the mid-50s. Here in round two, he was able to put together tricks like that kickflip varial as well as a tail grab 540 to bump him up to third place with a 79.50. Marcelo Bastos just learned 540s earlier this year, and he's got a whole boatload of them in his arsenal, throwing together many of them here in this run, but not able to hang on to the Rodeo 5, scoring in the low 60s. So that would bring us up to Rob Lorifus. First run score for Rob, pretty decent, down in the 70s. However, if you're going to stand on top of the podium at an event like this, you got to start creeping up there into the high 80s, low 90s, Brad.
Well, a guy who could definitely do it, that's this guy right here, Rob Lorifus.
Big front side air. We saw some big 540s out of him, and there's one right there earlier in the run. Big backside 540, almost rodeo style on that one.
He's got some of the craziest style out of all the riders out here, Rob Lorifus. The 20-year-old displaying his skills right now on vert.
Well, so far with this run, he's looking to be on pace to definitely bump up his score. The big front side. Oh, you see him, he rode down back truck on that one. He manualed down the transition.
Are you kidding me?
This was about 3 walls in, the big backside 5, and at the end of the run, going front side, and watch the back truck. He wheelies down the transition.
Second run, you nailed it. Couple tricks look really, really freaky the way you're coming down on them. How are you feeling?
I just really wanted to make that run. It ended up working out, and I'm stoked. I just tried to hold on. Like that last trick, I almost slammed, but I got lucky. Ramp's sticky, so it didn't slide out.
Well, an 84 even, good enough to grab a Rob Lorifus, second spot on the podium for the time being. But that man right there, Danny Mayer, the proud owner of the Kickflip McTwist. And we have Neil Hendricks standing by to break it down for the BFD.com Trictionary.
The kickflip McTwist is definitely one of the hardest tricks that anyone's doing on the vert ramp. It's a combination of a kickflip trick and a 540, which are two of the hardest things to do already, and then you're combining it into one trick. Not to mention, you gotta set your feet up perfect going up the ramp. You gotta land a setup trick, perfect, go up, flip your board, catch it, turn it into a McTwist. Guys have done this trick before, but it was always like having 1,000 tries to film it for a video. Danny's doing it in his contest run, which is pretty much insane.
Over the last couple of years, Danny has been doing that consistently in competitions. Nobody else is doing that. He's up next, but Rob Lorifus is going to give us a little insight.
So you can see how concentrated Danny is right now. Guarantee he's just talking crap over there, laughing, doesn't give a crap. But $10 says he makes it. He's got this trick down. Every trick he does, he got it down in his sleep. So see what happens.
So Rob's a betting man. He's saying that kickflip McTwist is coming in this run. I'm going to walk that plank as well, Brad. We're definitely going to see it in this run right here.
Well, this guy can do it. Danny Mayer, the kickflip McTwist. Will he get it, and will he pull it off in this run?
There's the setup. A couple of kickflip tricks. There's the 540, and there you go, the kickflip McTwist, and he makes that one. Now, he's got it down earlier in the run. The question is, what is he going to do with the rest of the run?
Stay on.
Yeah, stay on, but you don't want filler tricks. You still have to throw some pretty impressive moves in there. The backside lip slide revert, that is 10 walls.
Looks like I'm winning $10, baby, with a perfect run.
So the question is, what are the judges going to think about this run here? Were there enough hard tricks in there? It's not about one hard trick, it's what you do on all 10 walls. That was the 540 setup. Watch the board flip, catch it, throw it back on your feet, right away smooth.
Boy, and he's doing just that as he converses with PLG about his run. We'll see what the score is as it comes in from the judges.
Oh!
Hey, look at this, a 90.50. That's enough to grab him first place. Say hello to your new leader, Danny Mayer.
Well, we still have one more guy to go here in round number 2, and that's Pierre-Luc Gagnon. We've talked about this before. He's been the most dominant competition skater for the last 14 months, and look at that. He drops right into a 360 flip, but whoa, this is a rare thing out of Pierre. He goes down on the 720.
And a sigh of relief is breathed by Danny Mayer up top.
Look at that, the back foot just came off there on the rotation. Danny's breathing a sigh of relief for round 2. However, there's still 2 more runs left to go. I wouldn't be breathing any sigh of relief right now. So Pierre finishes round 2 in 2nd place.
We're
at Kings Island, Cincinnati, Ohio. About to get on the Diamondback, supposed to be really gnarly. Diamondback. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh, water! That was fast. I've never been that scared on a roller coaster ever. It was so fun.
They were scared on the roller coasters. A lot of people in the crowd are thinking, hey, it's a lot scarier being on the vert ramp. Round 3, Danny Mayer and Pierre still standing atop the leaderboard. However, Jean Postek was able to put together a fairly decent run and move up the standings quite a bit. It was Adam Taylor, however, with moves like that Stalefish backside 5, as well as frontside 540s that would move him up to an 81.50 and all the way into 4th place. Danny Mayer sitting atop the leaderboard, tried to bump it up a notch, but goes down hard onto the backside on that alley-oop kickflip backside, and Pierre, the problems would continue and would stay in 2nd place at the end of round number 2. Adam Taylor in round number 4 would try to up the ante. He was knocking on the door, trying to squeak into a podium spot, but would remain 1 spot shy in 4th. Marcelo Bastos was plagued by falls throughout the competition. He too was knocking on the door, but the frontside heel flip goes wrong, leaves him in 8th place, and ends it by booting the helmet all the way to the deck. So taking a look at the Paul Mitchell leaderboard with just 2 skaters left to go, Zach Miller was stoked to be on the roller coasters, and how about that? Pretty stoked to be sitting in 7th place. That's his best pro finish thus far. But right now, it's all down to PLG and Danny Mayer. Will Pierre keep the streak alive, or will Danny get his first pro win? We'll find out when we come back. The ASA Action Sports World Tour at Kings Island in Cincinnati is brought to you by Maxell, official sponsor of the ASA Action Sports World Tour. By Diamondback, Kings Island's tallest, fastest, and meanest coaster ever. By John Paul Mitchell Systems, it's not just what you do, it's how good you look doing it. Paul Mitchell, style points count. And by BFD.com. The biggest names in action sports are on BFD.com.
Back here at Kings Island, your ASA Action Sports World Tour. And what a fun time was had by all. And especially the guy we're talking about, the man of the hour, Danny Mayer. How about him?
Well, you see him on the deck talking to our BMX vert winner, Simon Tabron, and this is a huge moment. I said before we went to break that this could be Danny's first pro win. He's won plenty of best trick competition in the past with that kickflip McTwist. Danny, however, has never won an actual judged overall run competition. He's in the lead right now. He's got 1 more run, so does Pierre. So if Danny can pull the upset, this will not only end Pierre's streak, but this will give Danny his first actual pro competition win.
What a special day indeed this could be for Danny Mayer. If he could just hold on and put it all together.
And there's another kickflip McTwist, Brad. Oh, and he goes down on the, that's the trick that actually did him in run 3. You can see him limping. He got rocked hard. He under-rotated it and got slammed to his back on the flat bottom. So what happens now? This is a nail biter. The door has just been left wide open. Danny knows it, Pierre knows it, and the judges know it as well. And now the waiting game begins for Danny Mayer.
Well, the one guy to go is PLG, the most winningest skateboarder in 2008 on top of the ramp.
Well, he's got 1 more run at 10 walls to try to keep the streak alive. Danny's right there on the edge of the flat bottom, waiting to see what happens here. Here we go. It all comes down to these 10 walls. Pierre dropping in to the 360 flip again. Follows up at the 720 and he falls. Danny Mayer gets his first win. You see Anthony Furlong tackling him into the flat bottom right there.
And you see a dejected PLG walking off the ramp as Danny Mayer celebrates his first win.
You know, these guys are the best of friends, and Pierre, such a true competitor. Very happy for Danny, but how about it? Danny Mayer ends the streak and gets the first pro win of his career as far as overall judge run competitions are concerned.
It could not have happened to a nicer guy.
It was not a walk in the park for this guy. Even though PLG had a little bit of trouble, man, what a trooper, what a champion coming out, slamming so hard and getting right back up. Talk to me about that.
I mean, you know, there's nothing I would want to do more than just go lay down after that for the rest of the night. But, I mean, there's more runs left, and I know that PLG can make, you know, he makes almost all his runs, and if, like, if I would have, not taken that last run and tried to do better, he might have, outdone me. So just got to do it till it's over.
Well, Danny Mayer is a bloody mess, but he's also our bloody champion. Bloody good job, man.
Thanks, man.
Insane.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The kickflip McTwist, one of the hardest tricks in the book. Want to take another look at it? There you go. It happens to be the BFD.com skateboard trick of the day. Danny Mayer, battered, bruised, and bloody, but he stands atop the highest spot of the podium. That officially wraps it up for the ASA Action Sports World Tour here from Kings Island in Cincinnati. For more about the athletes and the event, you can log on to BFD.com. I'm Jimmy Coleman. On behalf of myself, Brad J., Mark Shays, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.